Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Sharita C.W. Dela Cruz, and this is the Middle Page podcast, powered by Blast Music 24/7, Esoteric Entertainment, and you. And today, we have our 20th episode today. Shouts out to Blast Music 24/7 and all the good folks. Want to shout out Carla Simpson, Sunshine, Cromwell, and all the other folks who helped me get to my 20th episode. And we have the pleasure of speaking with Shavonna Owen today.
Hello.
Hey, Shavonna,
Hi.
how are
Hello.
you?
Hello. I'm good. Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. She is such a beautiful soul, guys. In the tradition of what we're doing this season, talking about middle-aged time management and the work-life balance. Shavonna is a great example of what that looks like. She is a wife. She is a mother. She is a full-time work from home software analyst. And she also is the proud owner of Dazzle Divas Bling Boutique. How do you do it all?
Oh gosh. Vitamins. No. Coffee, maybe.
Right.
It's about balance. Really is about balance. I been married for 18 years.
God
Mother of
bless
three.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm a mom of three. They're big girls now, but about around maybe 2019, I decided that possibility I want to have a business. A friend of mine sold accessories, paparazzi accessories, if you guys ever heard of that, jewelry line that make. And she was like, you need to come and sell some jewelry. And I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. No, I don't want to do that. And I bought the accessories, but I'm like, I'm not gonna sell. I don't have time. Well, I like the numbers, the money that came in, because I actually sold a piece of jewelry, and I wasn't even a consultant yet. I was actually just in minding my business in the grocery store, and this woman had walked up to me, and she was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful ring." I had on a big, huge ring, and I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "It's paparazzi," and she said, "Oh, well, can I buy it from you?" And I'm like, "What? You want to buy this?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Off your hand in the stove?
Off my finger in the store. Okay, somebody grandma just walked up to me. And I said, "Sure." She said, "How much?" And I said, "Well, I paid $5 for this." "Okay, $5. She said, "Okay, great." And she reached into her purse and gave me $5.50 and had told me to keep the change. And I gave it to her, and she loved it. And I'm like, I called my homegirl, "Girl, I'm ready to sign up. Okay, what I got to do?"
Right.
And I've been running this business out of my home for 3 years, going on 4 years next year. And it grew unexpectedly. And it took over a lot of things. And there are times where I'm running behind and, I'm like a chick with my head cut off. But, it's about balance. You just have to have that balance. You have to have that support network as well, to actually see your vision and help you see your vision. Because I don't do this by myself. I can't. I have my husband who supports me. My children support me. I do have a strong network. I will definitely say that I do have a strong support system.
Okay, that's really awesome. And I hear the accent on you. Are you from the South, or where are you from?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. I've been living in. Yeah, I'm a Brooklyn girl. It still is. I still am a Brooklyn girl.
I know, that's right. You never lose it.
You don't. I've been here in the South, North Carolina for some time now. So I'm considered a North Carolinian via Brooklyn, New York. I still got that New York kind of, my accent still comes out from time to time. And then sometimes you might hear a little Southern drawl, but yeah, it grew on me a little bit.
Right. So how did you come up? Can we continue to talk about Dazzle Divas? How did you, from the time that you conceptualized the idea to have your own business, for our listeners and our viewers, how does that happen? Did you do what people say, write down the plan and make it happen, or how did you go about that?
No, I didn't write it down at all. I actually went on my personality for Dazzle Diva. My mother, those who are close to me in my circle, they say, "Oh, you're such a diva. You're such a diva. You know, you got to be posing, and I can be in mid conversation, and then somebody say, "Okay, y'all, let's take a picture," and I'll just stop what I'm doing and just pose, and I just smile. I love all things shiny. I love shiny things and glitter, and I'm honestly a big kid. So when I was like, what am I going to call this business? And I said, well, how about Dazzle, because I like things sparkly, and Diva, because I never said I was a diva. My friends always say, oh, you're such a diva. I'm not a diva, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real laid back, real down to earth. But when it comes to certain things, I can be. So that was the concept of Dazzle Diva Bling Boutique. And then I said, okay, well, if I'm going to run this business, I'm going to run this business. I'm going to make it do for me and my family. And I noticed as I started getting into the concept of being a business and knowing more than just selling jewelry, it was about the numbers and the relationships I was making with people, the bond. Because there's a whole network of consultants like myself who do what I do. And honestly, I love what I do. The saying is, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life,
Right.
And I love this business. It's like, I'm not going to say the jewelry sells itself, because it does take work. Nothing works by itself. You got to push a button. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, it works on its own, but you got to push a button for it to work on its own. You just can't say work. You can't wave your hands and magically things start moving and shaking. But also with my full-time job, that I do, basically with my job, I have a little bit of freedom to work my business from home. So I just had to balance work life and then business life. It's like I work a 9 to 5, and then I'll do my business at night.
Okay.
It's not as easy as I make it sound, because I'm like, okay, when do I sleep? I sleep. But I'm a night owl too. It's like I work a 9 to 5, and then I'll say, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, I'm gonna chill out. And then at 10 o'clock at night, okay, let's do this.
You're wide open. Yeah.
I'm wide open. So it's that balance. I do take days off from this business, and I just use up social media is my platform that I do. I don't really I might do vending events, but social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever I can find, that's my platform that I actually work my business from. And it's easy for me. Not everybody does it, but it works for me.
Nice. And how long have you been a content creator? Were you doing that beforehand? Because I see you have like almost food reviews on your pages. How long have you been doing content creation?
I actually just started. It's sort of kind of like it's kind of like fell in my lap. When Facebook came, when I first started doing Facebook Lives, it was just the live shows, and then that was it. And then, of course, Facebook started changing, adding the reels and the videos, and all of a sudden now everybody's doing the video, like TikTok and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, I could do that. That's easy. I could do that, And I started tinkering and tankering with the reels, and then I'm noticing, okay, I'm having a lot of fun doing these reels and getting ideas. And also I saw where it helped my business as well, because I gained new followers on my business page. I gained new customers. So I'm like, and people say, oh, you so funny. I don't see where I'm funny.
Hilarious.
I tell the truth. It's like the truth is hilarious. The truth is funny. It's like, I almost did a reel today. I wear glasses for those, it doesn't show, but I do. And I had to literally, no lie, I made a video today. I had put my glasses on, and I was looking at a bottle of medication, and I still couldn't read it. I had to use my video camera to pull up the directions. Like, how are you supposed to take it? And I'm like, and I said, how many people do this on a regular basis? And yeah, it's like when see, and you find it funny when it's relatable. I think when people can relate to you, it's funnier, because it's like, well, I'm not the only one that does this. I'm not the only one that said that. and you put it out there and people laugh at it. And I just tell the truth. The truth is hilarious to me. It is so funny. It is so funny. So I just put out content. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I say I'm the best busted can of biscuits you ever ate in your life. That's what I am. So it's what it is.
See what I'm saying? That right there is hilarious. Like, I think a lot of times you just want to sometimes not feel so alone in those moments. And I guess we'll segue real quick over here to middle-agedom. You know, at one point in time we had good, or at least better vision. And now, you know, our eyes are playing with us. You know, it's hard to drive to the store at night now because our corneas are not doing their job. And, you know, it's just, I think it's important for us to experience this thing together and not feel so alone in it, because it can be, I suppose, depressing. It can be disheartening that, you know, your body's not working the way that it was. The sleep that you used to be able to use, the small amounts of sleep, definitely don't go a day without a nap.
Yeah.
If you don't take a nap, your body will make you take a nap.
That part. I truly, you know, like I said, as you go to, like, I will always say, well, nobody told me when you turn 40, your body falls apart. Nobody told me this. It's like, you like with my mom, you raised me, you set me up on my 2 feet, but you never told me
this part.
After the fact, it's like, you know, you need to tell me. So I have 3 daughters. And I look at my oldest is 24, and I say, well, you do know you turn 40, your body gonna fall apart, right? I'm just letting you know. And my daughter like, Mom, really? I'm like, yeah, seriously, your body's gonna fall apart at 40. And she said, it's no wonder. I said, one day, Mom, we're all gonna be in therapy because you are like the mother that is like, she says, I'm not the traditional mom. I always say, if you got news for me, is it bad news? Let me take a drink first. If you say, well, Mom, I got to talk to you a second. Is it bad news? Yeah. Let me get a shot. Hold on. Just give me a second. Let me just get a little warm and then go. What is it? You know, they're like,
is she ready for real?
Like, you're serious. Yeah, I'm good. I just took 2 shots of tequila. Let's go. Go. I got you. And they'll tell me, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, but as we do get older, it is depressing. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight and I can't lose it. There are things that are getting bigger that were never bigger before. Some things are starting to sag, and I'm like what the, you can't
find enough support anywhere. Can't find enough support anywhere.
Nowhere. Where's the collagen going? And sometimes I will actually look at that as just being graceful with it. You know, growing old gracefully is a beautiful thing. And I look at it as a blessing because some people don't have that privilege of growing older. They're leaving this earth way too soon, way too young. Yes. We focus more on our health now when you're 40. When you're 28, 29 and you're at the fast food restaurant, oh, let me get them cheese fries, add that bacon. And all of a sudden now it's like, can I get a small fry, no seasoning?
Right. We're gonna be eating rocks and twigs by the end of it all.
Right. Yeah. Or if you can even think of a specific food. Like you can think of a food right now, and you can literally taste the salt in your mouth. Like, oh God, that's so salty. You're not even eating it, and you can taste the salt in your mouth. You know.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It's like, I will say, as we get older, though, you do get wiser. You do have a more concept of how you want your life to be. Like, I choose peace over anything. Don't bring no chaos into my peace. I will gladly let you win the argument. Just I don't care if you're right or you're wrong. It's like, I'm not going to stand here and waste my precious moments arguing with you when I know what's what. I know what's up. I know what type of person I am. You can have that over there. I'm just going to walk this way, and you can just sit there and talk to yourself. You know? Absolutely.
Because a lot of times that's where I'm at. And like when I was younger, I used to care so much about so many things. And now that I've grown into a place where my health makes me have to care less.
Right.
Because stress is the main factor or contributor to a lot of bad health issues, mainly high blood pressure. And I tell my grown kids, y'all gonna stress me into the ground. I'll ignore you before I do that.
Yeah.
And if I can do that to my children, and no one is exempt. You know.
No. Yeah, you do have to create some type of boundary when it comes to certain situations. And if they can't respect the boundary, I'm gonna shut the door and lock it all up. Click, 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 click. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of locks. The bolt lock, I'm gonna have a bolt lock. I'm gonna have a chain lock. I'm gonna just tick, I'm all the way down. You can't respect the boundary. Like my both of my girls, my oldest girl is moved out. I do have a child in college, and then I have a 17-year-old living at home. And she knows that a specific time in the morning is me time, just me. Don't come and say, Mom, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm not going to hear you. All I hear is womp, 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 womp.
Right.
And you're going to have to repeat yourself an hour later. So keep that to yourself. I have a specific time in the morning to where it's just me and coffee.
That's right.
Whoever, it's just me and coffee. It's just me and coffee. Just give me a moment and we'll go ahead and just, we'll talk about it. But you got to have those specific boundaries when it comes to certain things. And, like I said, with the older we get, when we get in our 40s, us women, we don't give up. It's like, okay.
The closer, I'm 46. I'll be 47 in January. So I'm already telling people I'm 47 because I just want to go ahead and get it over with. God bless it. I'm waiting to see 50. I'm excited. But at the same time, right? Sometimes we look as young, youthful, and as graceful as we do. People don't realize that, hey, I'm forgetful. I mean, I used to never be so forgetful, but I can remember the words to Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul, but I can't remember what I went to the kitchen to get. I can't remember where I put my phone, but it's in my hand. I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my phone?
It happens. It gets to a point to where my husband got so tired of me losing my keys and inside the house that he actually made a hook in the kitchen.
I remember that.
Your keys. And guess what? I still lose my keys in the house because I forget to put on the hook.
Still.
And I'm like, I said, where are my keys? Where are my keys? I made you a hook. They're not on the hook. I forgot to put them on the hook. So he's like, really? I'm sorry. But I just, like I said, I'm gonna get older, I'm gonna get better, and which we do in a sense, but it's just that as women, we look at the little 20-year-old with the perkiness, and we're like, I know I am. I'll be like, whatever. Yeah, you're wearing the 5-inch stilettos, and okay, whatever. We got bad knees now because we was out there percolating back in the 2000s, and then 20 years later, your knee, you don't want to walk too fast because your knee's going to pop. It'll take you some time to get up from a deep couch. You be like, okay, you have to rock back and forth a little bit before you get up, and then you get up, and then you get up slow. And I'm like, gosh, I got to stretch or whatever. I do yoga. I do take yoga. Yoga is
nice.
I truly believe that self-care time. And people are like, well, no, yoga is just a bunch of breathing. No, it's not.
Downward dog is not a bunch of breathing. And isn't that like next to the last pose?
The downward dog, and then you have the child's pose.
Right. So that's the next to the last pose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to consider all the movement that you have to go through to get to downward dog. And then I think downward dog is like, one of the more, not complex, but the one that you're going to utilize more body.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is where I'm at.
Yeah. Exactly. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, when I first took yoga, I fell asleep in the class. I mean, the yoga instructor, she turned off the lights. Why she do that?
Why do you do that?
Why you do that? And then she played this really soft music, And then she lit some kind of incense or myrrh or frankincense or something. And I tell you, she had to wake me up because I was knocked. I was like, oh gosh. She don't even know I gotta get the
recipe to sleep.
And I went to sleep, and when I woke up, the lights were on. She said, Miss Owens, wake up. I said, oh gosh, was I asleep? You put me to sleep, girl. I said, I'm gonna be back next class. When's your next class? It was the best 5 minutes probably I was asleep because it was the cool down. It was the best 5 minutes sleep. But yes, definitely always look to your self-care. Especially when you have so many things going on. You got your hands in so many pots and you're wearing so many hats and I'm not dissing on the fellas, but as women, we wear so many hats going through life, like when you're a child and you're a teenager and then you become a mom, and not only a mom, you're a seamstress, you're a cook, you're a chauffeur, you're a therapist, you are a nurse, you are a doctor. You just come into all these different titles, but you're not getting paid for none of them. None of them. No check is cut. No, you barely get any credit. It's like, okay, thanks, mom. Thank you. You're a maid, you're a butler. And then it's like, okay, you tend to forget about yourself. And it's Absolutely. Like, okay, you took care of everybody. You make sure the kids are fed, the laundry's done, the husband is straight, whatever you got going on in your life. And then when you sit down and you look, and then you're like, okay, you done gave all your energy to all of this and you got nothing left to give to yourself.
Like I haven't shaved my legs in a month, and everyone else is taken care of. Just crazy stupid stuff. I'm talking about during the winter months, because during the summer months we can't forego. But I'm saying but like it's just you think about the minute things like that we forget about ourselves. Imagine that some of us. I'll just tell you real quick something about me. When my last child left the house, you know how you still were. Well, you might have experienced it. Oh, hold on a second. We had a comment. Sophia said, "So true. The different hats and the heaviness of what needs to be done becomes so exhausting." Yes, it does. I had gotten to the point where my last child had left the house, but I was still cooking those bigger trays of meat and the family size macaroni and cheese. And so it was kind of like, I had mad leftovers, and I'm like, why is no one eating this food? And then I realized that one day that there's no one there to eat it, and I just collapsed and cried in front of my refrigerator, like in an empty nest syndrome type situation. And I had to really get to a point where I was like, what am I gonna do with my time? Girl, spend time on yourself. Right. And once I finally got to that place, there was no turning back. Exactly. It's just like you get so used, and I'm going through the same transition as you. I was so used to making these big meals, and cooking, and then one day, and now it's just me and my husband and my 17-year-old, and she's a teenager, typical teenager. Right. She might eat chips for dinner. Yeah, but she did. She had Takis for dinner. It gets to a point to where I had to, one day I just didn't cook. And I came home with some Chinese food just for me. And I walked through the door and they're like, oh, you brought Chinese food. And I said, yeah, this is mine. And my husband's like, where's mine? I said, it's in the restaurant. I suggest you go get it. Like, that was like the first night or the first time that they're like, she ain't playing. I wasn't playing, like I got this for me. If you want something to eat, I suggest you call Golden Walk. You know the number. Tell them what you want and go down and get it, and that kind of shook the household. It's like, and in a sense, I sort of kind of felt guilty at first, because that's just the mothering. You're gonna feel guilty for not doing what you do for your kids. Okay, what the kids are going to eat. The kid is 17. She can fend for herself. She can order DoorDash, Uber Eats. She has money, and I had to retrain my thinking when it comes to certain things. Like, I don't have to. If I could just do it if I want to, but I don't have to, and that's the difference. Certain things we have to do, and then when we get so used to doing them, it's like,
that's like part of the program. That's like part of the rat race. You know, that's
Absolutely.
we have to do this. I have to do this. I come to realize I don't have to clean my house every Saturday. Let it be dirty. I don't have to cook Sunday dinner.
I've gotten to that place. Like, I used to be, I don't know if it was just, I work in restaurants. I'm a restaurant manager. So for the majority of my life, I've worked in food service. So cleanliness is like important to me, because if I'm gonna clean somebody else's kitchen or somebody else's situation, I'll be doggone if I'm gonna come home in my house dirty, you know? And so it got to that place where my husband had to, you know, kind of chill me out. He's like, you can let that go for a minute. Sit down, relax.
Right.
You can sit down for a second, just relax. And, you know, breaking the program, like you said, rewriting the program.
Yeah, and it feels weird at first too. The first time I didn't cook, because every Sunday dinner since I can remember, I cooked the Sunday dinner. And then one day I said, I'm not cooking Sunday dinner. And it felt so strange, like nothing, no pots are clanging, nothing's in the kitchen on the stove. I ordered pizza on a Sunday. Like,
ooh,
there's a glitch in the matrix. She ordered pizza on a Sunday, you know.
Everything is in a disarray now. What's she gonna do next?
It's like everything is off. So like, you know, my daughter, she's like, well, Mom, you know, I'm gonna be out of here soon. She's a senior in high school, about to go to college. And then I look at my husband, I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be us soon. So we're gonna have to figure out what the next road is. Like, what are we gonna do? Because you get so used to saying, okay, family, kids. And then when the kids are gone, and not to bring this up like it's a terrible thing, but you notice how with couples, they're together and then the kids are gone, and then I've seen with couples divorce. Because it's like,
they don't know they don't
know what to do, because the kids were a buffer. You know, you had that buffer. You had that one thing in common, which was the children. And then when the children are gone, it's like, okay, now I have to get to know you. The routine is gone. It's like,
it's busted. And you're like, what do you do? We're not even cooking no more. We're not eating. Listen, can I interject real quick? And I'm gonna ride this train with you. Like, my husband and I, we just got married. We'll be celebrating a year this weekend, right? Thank you. God is good. He's used to, he had children and I had children, but we don't have any kids together. The youngest child that we have in our little troop is 13. Shouts out to Josiah. But it's like, you know, he lives with his mom. So we don't have minor children in the home.
Okay.
So like, you know, being in situations where, like you stated, where you had kids, right, around, what do you do with this person, this one person? Communicating, hey, how you doing? You know, sometimes you don't even ask your spouse, hey, how you doing? Because you're dealing with children. You know, you're just like going to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. You might get a kiss goodnight. You know, you might get a hug, you might get a text, you might get a phone call. But what happens when all of that space comes between you now? Because, you know, when the kids is at the house, they think about you until they need some money or if they need a meal. So it's just like you're sitting here with your spouse and it's like looking at each other like, what we gonna do now?
Right. Because I looked at my husband, I'm like, you know, it's like you have to, because of course the communication, you know, there's a slight communication barrier, because it's like, okay, you feel like you have to get to know your spouse all over again. Because I don't care what nobody say, you change, you go through different spurts, especially when you have that longevity of marriage. It's like, okay, we got married at you say you get married at 20 years old, and then you're 30, then you're 40, then you're 50. You're not the same person you was when you're 50 that you was at 20. You know, your thinking is different. And, you know, y'all can be on the same page one day, and then I'm in chapter 35 and you're still on chapter 10. I'm like, I'm ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do we do now? Do we have to try to reconnect? Do we get to know each other better? Like, the love is there, but if like you don't have that communication or that what do we have in common? It's like, okay, I like the zip line. Well, I don't want a zip line. Okay, let's go bungee jumping.
I don't want to
bungee jump. And then after a while, you be like, well, you're boring. It's like
right, and it's like you're not who I thought you were.
Exactly. And that's where I would see breakdown of certain couples. Like, okay, we have the children in common, but now that we don't have the children in common, and I still want to do this, and you want to do this, and it's like, okay, So I definitely would say that you have to have that link of communication, and you have to basically be vulnerable with each other. You have to okay, take down, okay, what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to, where can we go from here together to the next chapter? Because there's no more children. A lot of couples, they travel. Some people just want to stay at home. I love to travel. I already know this. I got a trip planned in November because, I'm out here. I'm ghost.
Listen, I think that was the one thing that before we go to the Blast artist spotlight, I think that's one of the biggest things that I was excited about, was being able to be a little bit more flexible with my movement and getting out and doing things. Like my husband's from the Bronx, so that's exciting. And I'm a poet and a performing artist, so I'll go all around and do things anyway. So I wasn't a stranger to going to New York, but it was so much nicer with my travel partner being more acclimated with it also. And so we did a couple trips to New York this summer, and it was kind of no sweat. You didn't have to worry about who's going to babysit or who's going to do this or who's going to do that. Of course, we took all of his kids with us the first time we went this summer, but it's just I'm going to see the world. I'm going to explore this life. I'm not going to just dedicate my entire life to domestic capacity. And sometimes that makes us feel a little guilty. Ladies, gentlemen, when you have the opportunity to go travel and do some things for yourself, do not feel bad. Now, don't neglect your family, but when you got moments of opportunity, take them.
Take it, please.
Real quick.
Take it.
Real quick, we're gonna hop back into this with Shavonna Owens on the MiddlePage podcast. We're gonna hop out real quick and share the Blast artist spotlight with you, and we'll be right back.
All right, everybody. Great show, ladies. I'm loving it so far. Tonight,
Thanks.
The Blast artist spotlight is our boy Yamasani, and this is called Circle of Life. Let's check it out.
It touches on reincarnation too. It touches on previous lives and how your karmic debt is what it's called in a previous life. Determines what you do in this life, what happens to you in this life.
Well, man,
so
like
your
that
karmic
ain't fair,
debt
man. Like,
turns
we're
into
gonna
challenges
sabotage
that
me.
you got to overcome in this life. And if you don't overcome the challenges, you're going to go do them again. So I already know that, like the temper and all that. I already know that was one of my karmic debts. Sexual energy, like just sexual addictions and things of that nature. I already know that was a part of my karmic debt. Like I know what I had to overcome. Alcoholism, I had to overcome that.
You said karmic debt.
Karmic.
Oh, now that's real. Pops a rolling stone and flatten grass fields. My mandatory raps a passive axe bill. React like Drax will, relax, I'm past chill. This manifestation of imagination is just a creation of communication with an integration system like the Matrix, filled with entertainment, pastors education. Court-appointed lawyers for blacks in litigation. Corporate enormous tax cut and evasion. Saw George Floyd on the news and couldn't take it. It's hard to tightrope, walk it all, but I'm a Grayson. One day we not gonna be passive with the slaying. One day we might just put action to the saying. One day we'll stop all the blasting and the spraying and stop carrying weapons that will smith you like Jaden. To be free to you, to them is disobeying. They told you to get into heaven, you needed praying. They left out the heavens, your thoughts, and where you haven. It's not you, it's we, it's deep, it's complicated.
One day you have it, one day you have it, go away. One day you have it, one day you have it, go away, go away. it serious. Serious. It's an experience. Experience. Don't take it serious. Serious. It's an experience. Experience. Shine bright like a solar light. Know we can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light, and know you can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light. You know we can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light, and know you can make everything alright. Yeah, you gon' get it today. I'ma send it your way. This a clinic, don't forget every visit you pay. It's cringeworthy to say I've been perfect, cause hey, the kids calling my name. I'm too busy to play. This a scrimmage, shirt skins, the ending is late. Life's a scary movie with hands digging your plate to take the dividends, dollars and pennies you make. I'm transparent with you, even when you really opaque. Marcus Aurelius states, everything you hear is an opinion, not a fact. But is that really the case? Cause we all know planes leave a chemical trace, and we knew he was guilty. You see Zimmerman's face, and we all want to crash in the video chase, and we want that hottie to let us feel on her waist, and we know one day we will see God's grace transcend our body and be up in outer space.
Bright like a solar light, know we can make everything alright. Yeah. One day you have it. One day you have it. Shine bright like a solar light, you know we can make everything alright. Yeah. One day you have it. One day you have it. Don't take it serious. Serious. It's an experience. Experience. Don't take it serious. Serious. It's an experience. Experience. Shine bright like a solar light. Know we can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light, and know you can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light. You know we can make everything alright. Yeah.
Shine bright like a solar light, and know you can make everything alright. Yeah.
And again, that's our boy Yamasani with, I believe that is Dr. Chris C. I think that's it. And that was Circle of Life. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or even an up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But here's the thing, Blast is just not for the artists, it's for the fans. So if you like music, just like the song from Yamasani, there's hundreds and hundreds of music for you to listen to free on blastmusic247.com, and you can register as a fan. Blast, changing the industry, one artist at a time. All right, ladies, have a good one.
Thanks. Did you like that jam, Shavana?
I did. I like the beat. Yeah.
I did too. That's one of my favorites.
Nice.
That's one of my
really
favorites
nice.
by him. Mm-hmm. So real quick, getting back to where we were, I think that was a good place. And these are the nuggets that, you know, people don't get into and discuss. You know, they might talk about it amongst the girlfriends. The guys might talk about it at the barbershop. But, you know, I'm talking about in a setting like this. You know, I think that's what's so originally unique about the MiddlePage podcast. We always just end up falling into relating about the things, right? And so, you know, I don't know. Let's gather some tips in our mind what we could do to share with our brothers and sisters about keeping, you know, that gap of distance with your spouse not so big. You know, like, what do you do, if you don't mind me asking? What do you and your husband do now? Because I mean, you had a 5-person household, and in the last, you know, what did you say, 5 years? Things have changed dramatically, and then you picked up a business. Not certain what he does exactly in his spare time, but I'm saying, like, I'm sure that there's a lot of, you know, time.
Yeah. Basically, I would do, well, when I started this business, he did support, and but he wasn't very familiar with what I actually do. Like, he knew, okay, well, she started a jewelry business, but, you know, he didn't know. And I saw that he was like on the outside looking in. So I opened the door. I said, come in and let me show you what I do. Let me make them a part of your day-to-day or your everyday. Show them like, this is what it is. Like, cause you're looking at it as from a different aspect. But when I showed them the depth of my business, and then we have convention every year in Vegas, we have a convention. And I said, you know what? You want to go to Vegas? And he was like, yeah. I want to go, you know, because I was going to go with a bunch of girlfriends to this convention. And then I said, well, let me take my husband. Let me show him. So when I showed him, like, this is what it is, he was like, oh, you know, you have to let them in. Like, of course, you want to have your private time, but let them in your spouse and show them like, okay, this is what it really is about. And I want you to understand, even if they may not have a clue, be willing to, you know, let them know, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing. This is what it's all about. Even when it's just sitting down talking, you could be sitting there talking about football, whatever, you know, like I like football. I don't follow the game as much as he does, but I notice when I come and I sit down with him and I watch a football game, no matter who's playing, he likes that. He's not going to, of course, men are like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know your man, you know your spouse, you're going to know what pleases them without them even opening their mouth, you know.
If he slides you the chips, that means he like you in
yeah. You know, like, or you say, well, what just happened? Or what number is that? You know, like, who is that? Like, I don't watch all teams play football. He does. There's certain things that I didn't know about him. I didn't know he liked the little iron cast cars, and he liked the little, you know, he started switching up on me doing certain things. So have those difficult conversations as well, even though it make you feel a little bit on the uncomfortable side, because you may have never spoken, whether it's about money, whether it's about sex, whether it's about whatever. It is uncomfortable, but you gotta have those hard, critical conversations, because you don't know, you gotta have it. Boom. And soon, you know, people always say, well, you know, social media makes it easier for, I'm sorry, I have a hair. Social media makes it easy for people to cheat. No, it don't. Because, baby, people were cheating when they had rotary phones. Okay,
Talk about it, Miss Mrs. Owens.
Like, you had that phone, you had that friend to call your house, like, oh, hey, is Jimmy home? Oh, hold on one moment, Stuart. And Stuart on the phone. And then as soon as Jimmy pick up the phone and you hang up, hello, hey, sweetheart, how you doing? This is Betsy. Come on now. They've been doing it since the dawn of time. If they leave the door open to entertain somebody, they're going to entertain somebody. It's not about Facebook. It's not about Instagram. It's not about whatever social media platform. Oh, he's in my inbox.
So it's if you're entertaining the conversation.
Don't entertain the conversation. If you know this person is with somebody, cut it. Because if you sitting there and keep with them, and then you want to sit there and try to blame this person, no, don't. Now, I'm no expert on this, but if you have those critical conversations and you have those uncomfortable conversations, you can clear the air with a lot of things, and just be truthful. You know, don't sit there and BS through it. Be honest. Be very, very honest, because there's no need to sit there and blow up a smoke screen up somebody's butt and you're not being honest about how you really feel about whatever y'all talking about. You just gotta have that conversation. You really do. That's the only way, especially, you know, if you really want to be with that person.
Right. Like you said, you're not an authority on this situation, but you have been married 18 years and you've completed a course by, you know, keeping your family together. And I'm not saying your situation is perfect, because no one knows anyone else's situation out behind those doors. But I'm saying you guys are together. You still have a brightness on your face when you speak of your marriage. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so that lets us know that things are okay. You know, some people are totally not okay. They just can't wait till that youngest child leaves so they can go ahead and get divorced and sell the house and split it. You know, and I don't think any of us want to be in that place. So I'm so glad, you know, that someone who has been through it can come and speak on it in a positive way. And like you said, have those difficult moments and those difficult conversations. And the two things that you mentioned were the two most difficult that people have conversation about. And even like, you know, people who get married young and have the children and then arrive at a place like you and your husband have, you know, in middle-agedom, or people that get married a little older and have to deal with certain things, you know, going into middle-agedom. It's all the same. Communication is the key.
Yes, definitely.
Let me ask you, what do you do now? I'm not asking you to share your beauty regimen, but what do you do to keep yourself well? You know, that's part of the work-life, time-life balance with middle-agedom. I can say that some of the things that I didn't have to have a 3-part washing of my face process. Maybe some people did. I just had okay skin after a certain amount of time after I was ravaged with acne in my teenage years. But now I am washing my face using witch hazel and a moisturizer, so my face won't be dry and be patchy and crazy with the eczema and stuff. Like, what do you do to, you know what I'm saying, keep yourself together as far as maybe vitamins or, you know, a smoothie? What do you do?
Well, I do take vitamins. I actually take Smarty Pants vitamins for women. I do take those. Okay. They're the gummies. I do take those.
I take gummy vitamins too. I'm a kid.
Me too. I'm a big kid. As far as I do walk around. I do try to walk maybe 2 to 3 miles. I don't walk daily? Every day, not daily. Okay. No, not, you know, this is what I do. If I can't get outside to walk, you know, the weighted hula hoop, the little infinity hoop, yeah, I do get my steps in with that. And literally, and it is true, 30 minutes is 2 miles. 30 minutes is 2 miles. And I can do that in my sleep. You know, I put my earbuds in, I have the music playing, I'm just swooshing. You know, just swooshing around. I have when you first
got your infinity ring. When you first got your infinity ring, it was, girl. That's what I'm saying. Your content is crazy because I be sitting here. I was like, wow, I want one. Am I really coordinated enough to get one?
Well, see, that's basically, and we're gonna talk about that infinity hoop because I actually did that as a business, not a gimmick, but like I wanted people to know to follow my page. You know, my business page. So I said, well, what do people follow you? And it's like, okay, but they got to follow you for a reason. What reason they're going to follow you? I said, okay, look, I'm going on this fitness journey with this hula hoop. And it was all the rage because I kept seeing it on TikTok and everybody. And people talked about it, but they were so scared to get one. And I was like, well, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you, oh, well, you can get it. I lost 50 pounds doing this. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. So I said, well, let me just get the hula hoop for my health, but also bring people into my journey so I can master this thing. Because at the end of the day, people are naturally nosy. They're going to want to know, like, well, did she lose that weight? Did she get that hula hoop? You know what? Let me follow her. I want to see. And I posted reel after reel after reel, video content after content. And you saw within a matter of maybe 3 weeks, I got it. You know, I was like, okay, yeah, I got this.
Because at first she was like,
child, I'm making a complete fool of myself. You hear me? I'm like, I couldn't even keep the thing up. But you got that thing. You got it going. One thing I will tell you, I am a true Pisces. You never tell a Pisces that we can't. Now, of course, we know we can't fly. We can't jump over buildings. Of course, I know I can't do that. But if I know if you tell me I can't do something and it's within reason, oh, you can't do that. And I'll be like, watch me. I'm gonna do this. And I did it. And I also gained my following, you know, went up because people wanted to see, okay, did she get the hula hoop? So that was also like kind of a marketing tool for me. And I still do the hula hoop.
That's it, marketing. It wasn't a gimmick, it was a marketing tool.
It was a marketing tool because I'm like, okay, I gotta build up my followers. You know, I'm promoting this business. I want people to know what I do, you know. So I said, well, try to get them in the back doorway. So I said, okay, if I can't get you this way, I'm gonna get you this way, you know. So right. Okay. But that hula hoop, I do that. When it comes to washing my face, I actually use olive oil. I remember olive oil on my grandmother's dresser as a little girl, and I would see this bottle of olive oil, and couldn't believe at the time, as I got older, that my grandmother was a young grandmother. When she passed away, she died young. She was 55 years old. Didn't look a day over 40.
My goodness.
Now that I look back at her picture, I'm like, this is grandma. I said, what? No, never. You know, she looked so young, but I remember the oil of Olay on her dresser. So that's what I use. And if I run out, I just use Dove. And very like Dove, the white bar Dove soap, and just a moisturizer cream. Normally Pond's in the red jar. You know,
I do that. I got the pink top.
You got the pink. Okay, I got the red jar, the Rejuvenous. You know, until I get more oil of Olay. And that's it. I try to get as much sleep as I can. And yes, I do get my naps in. I put my eye mask on. That's the best way for me, quickest way for me to go to sleep. Invest in an eye mask. If you do not have one, the very soft ones, you know, you get out of TJ Maxx, it'd be like 3 for like $5.99 in a pack.
What it do?
They're very, very soft. It puts you to sleep. Put you to sleep quicker. Very, very fast. Like it took some time to, you know, it's going to take you about maybe a week to get used to it. But now I can't sleep without them. And I have them all over the house. It's like, okay, I got 2 in the bathroom, 1 in my nightstand. I got like 3 in a drawer. I keep them because those are the best things to, even when you know you're tired and you know your body needs the rest during the daytime, they're like blackout curtains for your eyes. And they're very, very soft. And you just put it on. I have the TV going on low. And then within like maybe 10 minutes, I'm asleep. And there are times that put me to sleep, but I don't even be all that tired. I just want to lay down. But I put it on because I know I
ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna try it because I mean I'm thinking of it like, well, that's like a signal for your body. Time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what it does.
I need
really
that.
Puts me to sleep very, very quickly. It's like only time I can see myself sleeping without one, I got to be extremely tired, like really, really tired. And that's what I do. I do my yoga, meditation. You can meditate throughout the day. I do meditate throughout the day. I'll just take a moment, 5 minutes, and I just breathe in and out. I block out everything and I just breathe in and out. I might put like the little calming music in my ear, you know, like the hand symbols, ding, you know, the little Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you know what Tina Turner do. I would, just something to just take a break and just breathe through. And that's it. And then eating, I can't say I eat all the right things, but I do saute. I cook a lot with olive oil. I don't cook with butter at all. Olive oil is my go-to. I saute my fresh vegetables. I do chicken, I watch what I eat from time to time. Now there's sometimes, I'll have a donut, a cookie, a slice of cake, but maybe
because I ain't gonna hold you. I don't even know why people think you can just eat one donut. Like now that I have issues with my sugar, I have to really watch it. And I still, by the grace of God, I still have the ability to control. Like if I want to eat a slice of cake from Maxie B's, I know I got to go for a walk. And, it's going to spike me, but it's also after that walk, I'll be right back where I need to be.
Right.
But like, I don't know whoever discovered that you was going to eat one Krispy Kreme donut. I mean, if you start looking at serving sizes, like getting conscientious about your food consumption and things of that nature, you'd be like, what? Like this pack of, I ain't going to say the name because we're on TV. Well, public broadcast. Yeah. But these are cookies. And so these cookies, say one pack is this or whatever, but it ain't but like 9 cookies in here.
Wow. That's
what I'm gonna do.
Well, see, the thing is, I have to, like with me, I trick myself. Okay. So like the portions I eat from a smaller plate. My plate is smaller than the norm. And so, our eyes always tell us what we see, so they always say, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
it's like, if my eyes see that the plate is full, I won't overeat. But the plate is actually small, but my body is saying, oh no, your plate is of normal size and you're going to get full. So I have to trick myself into, I know the plate is small because I'm looking at everybody else's plates at the table and I'm like, okay, you got a big plate. And look at my plate. My plate is literally like a salad plate or like, just a normal size paper plate. Everybody got these huge portions. But I know if I use that bigger plate, my brain is going to say, you got to fill this plate up. So fill it up and the plate is huge. But when I look at my small plate, again, my brain still says, you got to fill this plate up. But I'm not filling up as much as I would be if I used a larger plate. So technically, I'm eating the right portions of food that I'm supposed to be eating. I drink soda maybe once every 2 to 3 months when I have a taste for it. And then when I do, I only drink half a can, like maybe 6 ounces. Water is my go-to. I love lemon cucumber water all day, every day.
Ooh,
so that is my go-to. And it's like, I don't think about the sweet sugary. Of course, I like, I don't even drink orange juice. Little shot glasses of orange juice that they give you in the restaurant? Yeah. I drink that much. If that, I might drink half of the shot glass just to have that sweetness. So it's all about just moderation. But when your body gets so used to looking at something, to you it's normal. But to everybody like, oh, you got that little plate. I said, no, my plate's not little.
My plate is fine.
Right,
mind your plate.
Right. So it's really all about moderation and how you cook it. I still eat my little sweets, but moderation again. Fried chicken, my air fryer is my best friend.
I have one. We were gifted one for our wedding, and I still have not used it because I have to break it out. I already said I was going to throw my microwave away because they said microwaves are bad. So I'm going to, one of these days that I have back-to-back days off, I'm going to go ahead and clarify my kitchen and put that air fryer out. I think that'll change my life.
It changed mine. Like, air fried wings are so much juicier. They're so much healthier.
I see that. That's right.
Ooh, honey, I had made the wings in the air fryer, and my husband thought I fried them in grease. And I said, no, they're air fryer. He's like, you lying. I said, he said some juicy wings. I mean, he killed them.
Right.
And that was that. It's like, now we just do air fried wings. I barely use oil anymore. So, like, I still eat fried chicken. I'll stop at Popeyes or something, get a little 2-piece or something, chicken tenders, whatever. But yeah, it's just all about moderation, taking the time to actually do your healthy eating, because I do eat healthy, brown rice and stuff like that, sometimes. But take time to do your research on your foods that you do eat. I do read labels more. That's really it. That's all I really do. That's just cool. About it. There's times I do things I don't even think about. It's just a normal routine for me.
Right. Well, check this out. We've had an amazing time with you. Oops, such an amazing time. We've had such an amazing time with you, Shavonna. We talked about how to handle business, how to handle family. You better talk to your spouse or y'all get lost in the sauce. Self-care is important. Disciplining yourself in your wellness activities and your daily regimen and your nutrition. Everyone speaks the same tune. Listen to us here on the MiddlePage podcast and our guests. These are live, real examples of how to get your life together. We've had a wonderful, wonderful experience with you. Shouts out to Sophia and all the other watchers and listeners today. You can follow us on Instagram at info.middlepage on Instagram. And Shavonna, real quick, can you just drop 2 of your social media handles so they know how to find you?
Sure. You can follow me on Facebook as Dazzle Diva Bling Boutique. That's the name of my business, Dazzle Diva Bling Boutique. You can just search it in the search bar. I'm the only Dazzle Diva Bling Boutique on Facebook, and you'll see this face. And then you can also follow me just as Shavonna Owens. Just Shavonna Owens. That's it. And you'll see this face again.
That's right. And you said you had a TikTok?
Oh, I do. It's under Boricua Soul, BORICUA Soul. So yeah, or you can just key in my name, Shavonna Owens, too, and you'll find me that way as well.
All right, now. Once again, it's been a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you.
We're gonna probably have like a women's forum once this season and a men's forum. I'll have to mediate the men's forum because I am the host, but I will probably have minimal things to say. But kind of delving into specific topics. But this season is truly dedicated to how to manage your time, how to manage your life, and balance things out. And you've given us a lot of great examples. And I wish you and your family well.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's been our pleasure. This is the Middle Page Podcast. I've been Sharita C.W. Dela Cruz. See y'all next week.